Hey everybody, so for this lesson, I want to look at conjugating AR verbs in Spanish in the present tense. What that means is I'm going to take verbs that end in the letters A and R, and I'm going to put them into their various forms. So I'm going to change, like, for example, hablar, which means to speak. I'm going to be able to change it to I speak, you speak, we speak, etc. Before I get into that part of it, I want to make sure that we remember what our subject pronouns are. And those are the words like I, you, him, her, we, they. I'll go ahead and write those on here in Spanish. I'll just, as I'm going, tell you what they mean. So yo is I. Tu is you, familiar or informal. Down here we've got él, which is he, ella for she, and usted, which is you, formal. Over here on the top right, we have nosotros or nosotras, if I wanted to, for we. This one will be vosotros or vosotras for you, plural, and that's just going to be in Spain. And in the bottom right, we have ellos and ellas, which both mean they, and ustedes, which means you, plural, like you guys, basically. Okay, so that information is super helpful and important. If you don't already have it, I would suggest you write that down. Okay, over here on the right, I've got the verb hablar, and I'm going to go ahead and conjugate that verb in the present tense. Again, conjugating it means you're putting it into its different forms. So we're taking it from its infinitive form, which is hablar, to speak, and I'm going to put it into the form I speak, you speak, they speak, etc. So the process for this is, first, you're going to want to take the AR off of the end of the verb. So I have hablar, and I'm going to remove that. And then all 6 of these are going to start with the same letters. Now, again, a reminder, these are for regular verbs. There are irregular verbs that don't follow this pattern exactly, but for now, we're just doing the regular ones. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write all those down right now. So they're all going to start with H-A-B-L. And you can do this with all of the regular verbs in the present tense for AR verbs. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add different endings to them to make them have meaning. So for the yo version or the I version, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add the letter O to the end of it. So hablo means I speak. Now, in English, we do have to include the subject, the I with it, but in Spanish, you can just say hablo. I don't have to say yo hablo. You can say it, and it still means I speak. It just kind of puts emphasis on the I if you use it, but it's not wrong or less valuable without the yo. So hablo means I speak. Now, the tu version is hablas. That means you speak. The he, she, usted version is habla. So he speaks, she speaks, you formal speak. The we version or nosotros version is hablamos. The vosotros is habláis. And then the they version or the ustedes version is hablan. So I can use this pattern to conjugate all of these verbs in these 5 sentences down here correctly. What I want to do before I do that is give you a little tip, and that is memorize just these ending sounds. So o, as, a, amos, and if you have to know it, ice, and on. And just memorize that by saying it in your head a lot. O, as, a, amos, on. O, as, a, amos, on. And when the time comes for your test or quiz or whatever, and the teacher says, okay, go ahead and start, you can just go like this, write the chart down, and fill it in with the o, as, etc. And then you'll have it there for you for the remainder of the test. That's my suggestion to you. Maybe double check with your teacher that that's okay, so they don't think you're cheating. Okay, so what I want you to do here is I'll help you out with the first couple, and then I'll see if you do the other 3 by yourself. And then I've got 5 more sentences on the next page that we can do as well. So this first one, I have Rachel. So what I want to do is ask myself, where does Rachel fall on this chart on the left over here? Well, she's one person, so she's definitely going to be on the left-hand side because this is all for one person. She's not yo, she's not tu, she's not you, so that means she's down here, right? She's a he, she, or instead she happens to be a she. So I'm going to use the she version of this verb right here. It happens to be the same verb, so that first one's kind of easy. So the answer would be habla, this one right here. The second one has Michaela and I, so again, that's 2 people this time. So I'm going to use the right-hand side of the chart because these are plural. They talk about more than one person. And Michaela and I, that's us or we. And nosotros or nosotras, that means we. So I'm going to use the AMOS version of it right here, which would look like, I'll go ahead and write it down on this one. Trabajamos. Now, if you want to, pause the video really quick and see if you can do 3, 4, and 5, and then hit play. And then I'll give you the answers in about 3 seconds. Okay, so for number 3, it says yo. Yo should be super easy because it's right here at the top left. Yo, it has to end with an O. So I'm going to say contest, and I removed that AR, so now I just have to add the O. And I have yo contesto las preguntas. Number 4 is these 2 people right here. So that's them, right? So I'm going to say they watch TV. So I'm going to use the bottom right of the chart, which ends in an AN. So I go MIR. I've removed my AR, and I'm going to add my new ending, which is AN. And I have miran la televisión. Josie y Ellie watch TV. Number 5 is tú, or you. So 2 is right here in the middle left. So I'm going to use that AS ending for it. So I'll take off the AR and add AS, and I'll have you listen to the radio. And so what I have for you, again, if you want extra practice, if you haven't written these things down, I'd write those down really quick because they're disappearing as I scroll down. But I've got 5 more sentences. So why don't you see if you can pause the video and do those by yourself really quick, and I'll write down the answers in about 3 seconds. Okay, so the answer, I'll just put it over here on the side because it's kind of messing up my sentences. Number 1, the answer will be practico. Number 7, ustedes with celebrar would be celebran, like that. By the way, number 6 means I practice a lot of sports. Number 7 says you guys celebrate Christmas. Number 8 is we arrive late. So we arrive would be llegamos. Number 9, so you use the computer in class. Tú usas la computadora en clase. And then the last one, Jocelyn brings her backpack to school. Jocelyn lleva su mochila a la escuela. So that's pretty much it. This is just for the AR verbs. We'll learn ER, IR verbs later. Drop that AR off, add the O, os, amos, ice, and on, and then you can give your verbs meaning. Make sure you have this memorized or it'll be super, super difficult, if not impossible. That's it for this video. If you have questions, let me know. Thanks for watching, and hasta luego.